Alright, so this is a couple things you might have missed while watching Hunter x Hunter. Oh my god. Let's get into it, y'all. Okay, so the first one is about Bravada. There's a certain scene where he's standing in front of Reina talking to WELFIN, and he tells him that he can always tell the ants who remember their past life based upon a certain way that they look into the distance. So then in the same episode, Bravada takes Reina home, and then he storms off, and she catches him looking into the distance the same way he described, signifying that he remembered his past life as well. And they go home, and it's a happy ending. It's a happy ending. The narrator even says they return home. Oh my, yo, let me go cry real quick. Where my tissues at? So this next one is something small. In the theme song, we actually see Gon transform way before he ever does it. You see him thinking about KITE, and then what happened to KITE via Pito, and then we slow down to see him transform. So it's kind of tough. In my book, I'm gonna have to write that down as tough. Check, please. Okay, so this next one is one of my favorites because it's extremely tough. In episode 79, I believe, it shows Yunju's team attacking the NGL, and when it goes inside, it shows IKALGO and WELFIN standing next to each other when they were humans. And I didn't catch that. Maybe y'all caught that. I didn't catch that the first time. That's so tough. Like, IKALGO even has his thick eyebrows, and you can hear him speak, so you know it's him. And then when you refer back to when WELFIN remembered being eaten, it's the same person we see next to IKALGO. Oh, that's too much. That's just too much. They said they want another quick one? They said that? The ZOLDYCK siblings, all of their names lead into each other. There. I did it. Alright, so this next one hurts. It's about Reina and Colt. So Colt, his main objective when he's first introduced into the show is to protect his sister Reina, right? After they're both eaten by the queen, Colt is reborn, and again his main objective is to protect the queen. But queen in Spanish is Reina, so he's really just doing the same thing. Oh my gosh. Alright, so this next one is more so a theory rather than something you might have missed. But the theory is that Gyro is actually the king. And I know it sounds a little wild, but their lives do share some strange parallels. So when we look at Gyro's backstory, the defining moment in his life was a man seeing him get beaten half to death and ignoring him, devaluing his life, right? And then we look at Meruem's life, and the defining moment was him meeting a woman that can't see him, adding value to his life through interactions with him, right? And then there's this one scene where KITE is fighting Yunju, and he says, "Where's the leader of the NGL?" And Yunju tells him something like, "I don't know, he's probably in the queen's belly right now." All right, so we had the last one, and we about to dive into arguably the greatest anime scene in history, right? So I know it sounds a little wild. Kite is Gon's arm, but I'm going to explain it for y'all, right? I want to establish one thing first. In the Chimera Anarch, I think that Kite overtook Killua in Gon's priority list. I think that Gon put Kite before Killua. So Killua was like probably third in Gon's priorities. So check this out. Gon gets his arm cut off, and he tells Killua, I feel like Kite that day. I'm somewhat happy, and I feel like I've been redeemed, right? And him saying he feels like he's been redeemed, he's finally admitting to himself, Kite is dead, and he's not coming back, right? So he then punches Pito in the air, and he makes a point to grab that arm. The arm was already a reference point to Kite, which made him feel some type of way after he got his arm cut off. So then he gets on top of Pito and he impales her with the arm, and he tells her, you can have my right arm. And I found that kind of funny because when somebody is super close to somebody, they call them the right hand, and he said, you can have my right arm. So I took that as him saying, you can have Kite, because he just came to the realization, Kite's dead, I accept it. So he's basically saying to her, I accept it, you can have Kite. And then he tells her, now you must sleep too, something like that. Now you have to sleep too. So he's saying, you can have Kite, but now it's your turn. So you have to go away just the same way Kite has to go away. Alright, so I hope you guys liked the video. Leave a comment, start a discussion, do something, get it popping down there. What's the other word? I forgot. Subscribe, because I'm trying to get rich and I'm trying to get my bills paid. Alright, I love y'all. Amen. Goodbye. Peace out.